Hey folks, this is Sue Bell and Jimmy Kelley from networkempire.com. We're here for the members only webinar.
How's everybody doing today?
If you guys are here, give me a 1. If you're not here, give me a 2. Okay, we got a few 2s. That's a trick question. That's just to see if everybody's awake and alive. Hey guys, good to see you all. Kurt, and Jeremy, and Kathy, and Jim.
We should just make everybody go live.
We should. We should bring them all on the hot seat. So Russell is not going to be here today. We can be evil, exceptionally evil, and highly technical. So as you guys know, this is the bring your own webinar, or no, bring your own website. Yeah, bring your website, and we'll review it for you. We'll be gentle today, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, we'll be gentle. We won't lash out too badly.
Kathy's the first one up. All right. So talk to me about your site, Kathy. I will get it up here in a second. Honest. There we go. How long's your site been up? Ooh. Click here for a free quote. That's great. Since May. All right. So what stage is this in? Are you like still working on it, or is it pretty much done, or where are we at? Can I get the first page for Vancouver movers? Long distance movers, pretty much done. 2 blog posts per week. All right, so you can't get on the first page for Vancouver movers. This is what you're trying to do. And also rank for long distance movers. All right. CanadianEasyMoving.com. So, moving to Vancouver. Movers/Vancouver. Services. All right, so all of these things are under services. Different locations, I trust. I don't know Canada all that well, but I know Vancouver's a place, so I'm assuming the rest of these are too. White Rock sounds like a place. Let's just look at Vancouver for a minute, since that's one of the ones that you said you're trying to rank for. Is it just this one page? Is Surrey like a suburb in Vancouver? Do you have only one page that references Vancouver is what I'm trying to get at. All right. Those are all small towns. And yes, only on one page. Okay. A long distance page for Vancouver. All right. But the long distance page for Vancouver is going to be under a different silo than services, right? Yeah, relocation. Vancouver. Okay. And those 2 pages aren't linked to each other, so that Google can't make a connection between your 2 Vancouver pages. So what it's making a connection between is Surrey and Vancouver, which is going to lift it up more into the locale that includes the two of those. Plus. So there's 2 or 3 things. I'll just say on-site first, and then I'll let Jimmy talk about off-site. On-site, I would say, if you had a silo for Vancouver, so if you had 3 or 4 pages, or preferably 5 pages about Vancouver that were all linked together, then you would have a better chance of ranking for it because you would thoroughly establish the Vancouver moving concept on your site. I just want to take a quick look at what kind of Vancouver you've got here. So also, if you've got an office in Vancouver, actually putting that here on the Vancouver page, or all your Vancouver pages, would be ideal. Crescent Moving Company, where is that located? Or does it have a bunch of different offices? Oh, my office in suburbs. Well, if you have an office in multiple suburbs, then that's going to give more of a Vancouver kind of a concept to it. So these aren't all suburbs of Vancouver, are they? Crescent Moving was the original site. He launched in 2013. Oh, they're all burbs of Vancouver. Oh, my bad. All right. Well, then that's not as bad as I thought. I would still, like, if you've got offices, I would list your office address. That's going to make it more obvious to Google that you're actually here in this locale. In fact, if you could do, I'll let Jimmy talk about Google. Google Business
No, hold on a
pages.
sec. I'm having issues here with my computer.
Well, then maybe I'll have to talk
Give me
about
a minute.
All right. I'll talk about Google then for a minute. If you have a business page, and what I would do is I would have a business page for each one of the locales. And the question Kathy asked was address on page, not just on the contact page. Let me find the contact page. Hang on. Have you taken the semantic course, Kathy? Okay. Well, what I would say, since you've got also a phone number for each one of those verbs, I would be strongly inclined to put that on the specific page for that area, as well as on the contact page. I just think it would reinforce it a little bit better. And then also the Google page, have each one of the Google business pages linked to the specific suburb page. Did you get your computer straightened out, Jimmy? I can hand you a whip.
Yeah, it's finally, finally running.
All right.
It was giving me issues there for a moment. Need to update a few plugins, I think.
Ouch. All right, so I don't know. Were you gone at all? Or just distracted?
I was distracted trying to get this thing to work,
Okay.
but I think I got it up and working now.
Okay. So do you want to?
Yeah, so let's see.
There are several things I know you're going to talk about. So we could go back to the homepage and we could talk about how big the header is on top. Are you ranked for anything? Any of the long tails and other locales, maybe, Kathy? I would set up one G Plus account and then have different business pages, one business page for each one of your addresses. You can tie that all into one account. Not a lot. Some on the first page, nothing in position one. I'm actually wondering if she's got some kind of a... Hang on a second. Just do a quick match and see how many times you actually use Vancouver. It's not too bad. It doesn't feel bad to me. Do you have the link to the site? Jimmy, do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, I got it all up.
Okay. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the metadata. Title. Good. I think the meta title's the only thing she's got. And description. Oh no. Here's the description. That's a pretty long description. Okay, so yeah, I would say not enough content in the actual, I feel like you've moved your silos down where you've got service areas and then you've got your individual burps. And let me just think about this a little bit more. So you link from one to the other in kind of a daisy chain thing, which is okay. I'm not sure how relevant it is, but it's okay. Because you've got the links over here, so the links in the context, they're okay, but they're not required. But then if you're really trying to focus on Vancouver, how well do you think that Google's going to kind of grok the burbs out of that would be, since she's got 5 different burbs in Vancouver? Jimmy, what's your experience about ranking for the city at large?
Oh, I think if she's trying to rank for the main city, she should be fine. Because since those are all silos coming in, as long as she makes them relevant for the, the specific burbs, it should be able to rank for all of it.
Okay.
I mean, the key is to, make sure you're putting a local number on this, make sure you're getting the addresses on there.
You put them on the individual pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also say, too, this is a bit light in terms of the amount of content you got on that page. I mean, I know you're not linking off or anything, but just the more content you have on there, the more, yeah, that'll probably get Vancouver across, the more it's going to weigh in the analysis of the site overall. All right, should I switch over to you? Do you have some?
Sure.
All right. Go for it.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, so which one are you sending the links to mostly, Kathy? Is it your home page, or are you trying to hit some of your inner pages too?
Services Vancouver.
Yeah, so the silo, if you're trying to hit that or rank it for the Vancouver, let me just look at this. So your main goal is to rank the service areas page?
Yeah.
And you want this one to be Vancouver, or you want it to channel juice? You probably just want channel juice.
Services Vancouver.
Okay, let me see something. Okay. All right, so this is, so on this one you're going to want to change this up some. So right now your Vancouver is your H1, and then right underneath it you have a picture. So this one is, so you never want to put any kind of pictures, and you have to check this sometimes too with some of the social plugins, because this goes against the page layout algorithm. So this can trigger you for a panda penalty if you put an image directly under your H1 tag. So typically what you want to do there is at least put in, you know, a sentence or two of content before you go into your big picture. You have Vancouver. What's your main keyword that you're trying to rank for?
It was moving Vancouver. Vancouver movers. And also long distance movers.
Long distance moving company. Okay, so in here, so you have moving, so you have Canadian Easy Moving in here. So I would say that this is kind of like a partial match EMD, and not, you know, you're not going after your main keyword. So you'd be okay to come in here for your title and dress this up a little more. So you would want to put in, you know, like Vancouver, like best Vancouver moving company, or experience Vancouver company, something like that. Something that you get more keywords that you want to rank for in here, because you have moving in Vancouver in here, but you could definitely get movers or something, some of the other keywords you're trying to rank for right here in this H1. Especially since you'll be using, since you're powering up this page, your services page, that should be able to rank this pretty easily if you're using like internal link juice mostly, which that's what you get with the siloing. So you could be a little more lenient with what you're going to send here. Let's see. Does that make sense on those couple of suggestions? Then let's just take a look at the home. I want to look at the services real quick. Okay. Okay, so I'll answer that question in just one sec. The other thing I would say is try to shrink. You need to figure out a way to move this up more, because you have a lot of free space. I don't know if you said this, Sue, already. You have a lot of free, you know, this is also page layout. This is really long. So your content starts when it gets to, you know, your content starts down here. What's the BBB? So your content doesn't start until you get down here, so that's really far. I would say, you think that's like in the 40 percentile, Sue? All the way down to here?
Yeah, I think it's going to be way too far down.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to you're going to want to maybe shrink the header some and move this. You're going to want to move it up probably to, I would say at least to the bottom of the tires here.
Yeah.
Or maybe right underneath your red thing at very least. That way you don't have so much picture space up top. I like that she did the tweets over here and everything. I think that looks nice.
Yep.
Yeah, as far as, you know, so one thing I like to do for, like if you're doing these silos, which is kind of, I know it's kind of silly to do, but I mean, I do it just to get the authority link out and help give more relevance to the page. So if you're doing Vancouver, one thing I like to do is go over to, see if I can open up a new tab here. So I'll just go to Google Maps. And you can get, I guess I need to be logged in, but when you're logged in, you can save a location on your map, and then you can drop that map right on into your website. So, for instance, let me show you one so you have an example. So like on here, you can put this map right in there on your page, and this helps gives more relevancy, and it also contains the coordinates that you're trying to rank for. So it gives a little more geolocation going to it. So that's something I like to do, especially if you have actual locations where these are at. If you don't, I would try to get virtual offices or something where you can get the Google pins too, so you can get the maps listings done.
She's got them. She's absolutely got them.
Oh yeah, so she has maps listings too?
Well, no, but she's got the addresses.
Oh yeah, if you got the addresses, definitely do the maps listings, because that's going to help you rank for all these locally a lot easier. And also, you know, when you go and you get your citations, you know, you can order, you can get them from like Bright Local, or some people use Yext, places like that. When you order those up, that's going to send URL links going to these pages, and you want to just do a batch for each different location that you get into maps, and that most of the time will boost it up all by itself, especially if you've already been sending links to most of these areas. Let's just see what. Oh, see, you're right here at number 5. So you're doing pretty good on that front. So yeah, if you go, I bet you if you just go and get your maps listings for each location, that's going to move your organic up, and you should be pretty easy to rank within here too. Because let's just take a look and see what some of.
She's saying that you're in Google.com, and she is in Google.ca, and she doesn't actually show up in Google.ca.
Oh, okay. Let me check. Yeah, because your top, your top one for that maps listing that I see is a 33. So let's see.
Yeah, you might have to actually change your location. I don't know if it's going to let you stay in Canada. Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, there's these folks again. Yeah, so, and especially since your maps listings are coming up ahead of your organic listings, I would just go after the maps listings themselves, because I think that's going to rank you across the board for what you're trying to do. And also, you know, if you didn't know, so if you're in Vancouver and you're doing a search on your cell phone, these are the results that you get that pop up typically first, are these ones up here in the maps. And so I would do a maps play on this one. I think that's going to help you the most.
You scroll down and see if there are any videos on that first page. Shocking, no. Okay.
Yeah, and you have pretty light competition here for the most part. I mean, you're looking at a 37. Looks like you do have a 50 here. But I definitely think that you could take, you know, if you combine your organic with your maps, you should be able to overtake these guys.
She's got a DA of 26.
Because these guys aren't in, I don't see You Move Me in their maps either, so I definitely think that'd be the way to go. And then I would do the semantic play as well. Make sure you get your company info into Freebase, and then do a same as on the website to verify it. That would handle it.
Yeah.
As far as backlinks go, let's see.
You know, I was looking at the video that she's got on her homepage. She's got a really high DA on her YouTube account. I mean, a PA on her YouTube account. She's got a 57 on the video that's on the Vancouver page, but it points back to the home page. And if you pointed that back down to the Vancouver page instead, it would boost that page authority on the Vancouver page.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, embed whatever video you have that's ranking and put it on the individual video too. But you want to make sure in your description that you're pointing it to the page that you want to move for, and then definitely do backlinks to the YouTube video. Your anchor percentage, I think this is by count, yeah. So your anchor percentage is pretty good. I'm not sure where this one is going. Yeah, so you just have one there. And it's got a 2 trust flow, which is good. So you just have the one link that's the Vancouver Moving Company, but really once you implement the maps and everything, like you can go in with more links that are more broad match. Like if you pretend like you're just trying to rank for moving company itself, or best movers or professional movers or something like that. You want to make sure they get traffic, but the way you optimize on-site will help push those up as well. So that's my other suggestion. So when you start doing more of these, like keep sticking to what you're doing because you're doing pretty well for your anchor percentage overall. But just remember to add in some more broad match in there too. Like I see you got Canadian in there too, so that's good. But definitely just try to get some more broad match in there for your anchors.
She says a lot of her links are spider spinach.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell on those, but yeah, just try to stick to that with your backlinking. But from what I see on this, you're doing pretty good so far. And then on your, I ran a screaming frog on it, so this is your on-page stuff. most of these look pretty good because you're mixing up a lot of the keywords. So like you have long distance movers, local moving quotes. So you know you're not overdoing any of them. And you do have moving quote here, so that's different than what you're trying to go for over here. So I think you're doing a great job on your on page. I wouldn't recommend any changes. So yeah.
Okay.
I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah, so let me change back for a second. I'll show you what I was talking about with the video thing. So here on, moved off the page, hang on. So here on the Vancouver page, you've got a video at the bottom. And this video here, you were saying that that wasn't your video, but I'm not sure. So if that video is yours, you're linking right smack to the crescent movement. Oh, that's a different website altogether. So that's, oh, okay, it is your, so you're linking to crescentmoving.com, which I'm assuming is your old site. You should change that link so that you're linking right here to this whole thing, all the way down to Vancouver, because that's an awesome inbound link with a page authority of 57. The only thing that I don't like are these additional tags. I started to see that crop up in some of the things I've been reviewing for members recently, and I don't know if Google's penalizing that now, but I wouldn't do it because for sure they're going to get upset about it eventually, and then you'll have to go back and change all your descriptions.
I would just put tags in the actual video when you upload it. If you're going to put all those tags in, just throw them all in.
Yeah, rather
the
than
actual video.
Rather than spamming the description.
Like if you want to get those keywords in there in the content, then I would write out paragraphs to try and weave them in.
Yeah, that is a really good secret. The longer this description is, the more likely it is to get ranked. I mean, you've already got good page authority on that video, so how the heck did you get that kind of page authority with only 73 views? I'm not going to ask. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I think that altogether will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you've got 5 subdomains or 5 suburbs, so you should be able to rank for Vancouver that way. So my gut hunch is the reason you're not ranking is because you're 26 and your competition is quite a bit higher than that. So you're going to want to probably do some domain authority stacking, and some of the stuff that Jimmy mentioned too is going to also help your domain authority. But that's going to be, you're going to need to get that up to get on the front page. What did you say, Jimmy? He's gone. That's okay.
Yeah, I think she's got to build up some of the domain authority for that. So
cool. Okay, so we're at about the halfway mark. Does somebody else have a website that they would like on the hot seat? Otherwise, I'm going to go into a marketing pitch because, you know, Russell's not here.
Kurt's got one.
Okay.
I haven't heard from Kurt in a while. How you doing, Kurt?
Thanks, Kathy. We appreciate your site. Appreciate your going through that with us. Yeah, how are you doing, Kurt? Excellent. He's doing well. So give us your site, man. Ah! Inkjet Wholesalers. We've done this site before, haven't we? Thinking of changing the URL. Not for you. Oh, okay. Clearly there are many people out there in the inkjet business.
It's a lot of money in that niche. I know it feels like a bank robbery every time I go to buy ink.
Yeah, right? Paul asks, is it true if you embed a video that is pointing to your page in the description that they will cancel each other out? No, that's a fallacy.
The link, yeah, it doesn't. It used to, but the coding for the embeds have changed in YouTube, and so it's not true now.
I'll show you why.
On that one.
So here's the iframe. Here's the link that goes to that embed, right? And here's the actual URL that's going to link back to it. And because those two things are different, that's why they're not going to cancel each other out. So Kurt says he's thinking of changing inkjetwholesale.com.au/printer-cartridges/inkjet to /toner.
What's your main keyword you're trying to rank for, Kurt? That's really how I determine my styling. Printer cartridges. Are you only doing the Brother inkjet cartridges?
He's doing them all.
So I would silo by brand then.
It looks pretty much like he has.
I would keep it at brand.
You know, I'm changing the URL structure /printer cartridges. So right now you've got, right now you got /product in there. I'm with you. I see. So the only reason why I would change, like you could just take product all the way smack out of there too. You don't actually need that. Let me just see what your other silos are. Hang on. Other products, address labels, everything else is under refills. Yeah, so you could just take that. So what he's talking about, Jimmy, is replacing product with printer-cartridges. Let me just...
I would do Brother first still, or the brand.
Instead of... He's got Brother in there too. But he's thinking of superimposing inkjet cartridges. Like, I would be inclined not to do that, because I just feel like it's too easy if you put in inkjet cartridges to start ramping up for a Panda penalty. I mean, I don't see it just here looking at this, but I feel like you could.
Because he's got two different ones where he's got inkjet and toner.
Right, because toner's for laser printers and inkjet is for inkjet printers. Oh, I see what you're saying. So go Brother, and then under Brother have toner and then inkjet. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. And then do part.
You know, if you have inkjet or toner up above, so like if you have inkjet /Brother, then you're going to be more liable to rank for the inkjet term because you've got, but you don't actually have inkjet in the URL string. So that's actually not true. So if you have inkjet as your first silo, let me pull up a thing so I can talk more coherently.
That's true too. That's the fewest that you'd have if you broke them out into inkjet or toner first.
Yeah, so if we do inkjet -cartridges and
but what's his URL? Is he keeping this URL?
inkjet oh, cramonies. Yeah, you already got inkjet in there. That would be disastrous. Unless you're changing domains. You're not changing domains, are you, Kurt? Could do, he says. So let me just talk about this for a second. cartridges, toner cartridges. I can type, honest people. Okay, so if you go with the first one, this is going to, what this is going to do, what this layout up here is going to do, is it's going to help you rank for inkjet cartridges and toner cartridges easier, because then you're going to have all of these brands underneath inkjet cartridges, and probably a good chunk of them again under toner cartridges. So what that does is it gives you a whole bunch of pages underneath inkjet cartridges. They've all got that in the URL string. They're all linked together, and that gives you a whole bunch of weight for the term inkjet cartridges. It gives you a lot of authority for inkjet cartridges. And so you're going to be more liable to rank for inkjet cartridges that way. And if that's more important to you, or if inkjet cartridges, brother inkjet cartridges, and inkjet cartridges brothers, like if those kinds of terms are what you want to rank for, then this is the ideal way to go. Again, is what Jimmy just said. It depends on what your site, what your domain name is, right? You've already got inkjet in here. So if you do inkjet again, up until really recently, or maybe what's just around the corner waiting to happen, I know you could get away with the keyword term in your URL string twice without any problem. You get in there a third time, and that's starting to get really iffy. I don't know what the new changes are going to bring, so I can't speak to that, but I know up until a couple of weeks ago we were good. So, so what happens when you do this down here is that then you get all of these different pages underneath brother. Well, you don't even get a whole bunch of different pages under. Well, yeah, you would, because each inkjet cartridges page is going to have all of the different models of inkjet cartridges underneath it, and the same thing with toner cartridges. So you've got tons and tons of pages under brother, so that puts a whole lot of authority behind that keyword brother, and so you're going to rank really easily for brother cartridges, brother inkjet cartridges, brother toner cartridges, those kinds of ideas. So does that make sense? Whichever one comes first is the one that's going to have more pages underneath it, and so that's how your domain authority, or how the authority for that topic gets built, the number of pages underneath that silo. So Kurt says I could name that ink cartridges / ink cartridges. So yeah, you could. That would work. Something like that. Then you're not repeating the word inkjet, and that would be fine. Yes, you put the highest search term as the senior concept, unless, well, yeah, typically you would regardless. And if it's not a keyword that you really want to rank for, then typically speaking, you just don't have a lot of pages underneath that top level. So, yeah. Brands get less volume. True. Although sometimes you're so focused on your brand, like your site is all about the brand. And so then if that's the case, then the brand is the thing you want to focus on. You don't really care for ranking up for the top level term. So it all depends. Like, you just need to look at it and decide how you want to rank, what the important terms are for your site and for the way that you're doing business. All right. So site in general. Do you want us to look at the site in general, or was it more the concept of how you were going to set up the silo structure that was the question, Kurt? Mainly silos, but we can take a look at it if we want to. All right. We have a few more minutes. Unless somebody else has got another site they want us to look at for about 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and take a look at this one until it's a new client. Okay, nice. Congratulations. I mean, all in all, not bad. You know, that's one thing that I would say about the previous one that I didn't really notice as I was going through it. I forgot to put on my Russell hat because he's not here. Buy with confidence. Like, all of these things are good. Lowest prices, free shipping, free technical support, easy returns. Like, telling them right up front what it is that they're going to get. Getting these customer reviews, getting the social proof. That's great. How they can buy is good. And guarantee. Like that's the other thing that I would look for. You want all of those kinds of things above the fold so that they get a warm fuzzy about actually doing business with you. And I don't remember seeing that on the moving site. It might have been there and I just didn't look at it. Kurt says that they really spent a lot of time to increase conversion since pay-per-click was their only traffic source. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Their conversions are awesome. Good to know. All right. Well, then I won't see anything negative about it because clearly it's working. I mean, that's always the test, right? If it's working, don't mess it up. I like this too, where you've got looking up the printer and looking up the cartridge just right up there. Like that would help me find what it is that I'm looking for a whole lot quicker and easier than digging down through the brands. But this gives me an idea of also of how many brands you actually carry on the site, so that's also good to have on there. I would have to say that these things would be, if I were to make a guess, these are the things that they sell the least of. It's kind of like, yeah, they seem to me to be like a tertiary add-on and just a smid tangent. Super saver combos. I can tell you from a lot of experience that combos and packages, they work well, although I have to say that, let me just look at that for a second. Oh, I see. Yeah, combo packs, that's good. The biggest sellers are usually combos. Yeah, that's what I found too. When we run combos, we're not doing so much with Network Empire, but I mean we do have bundles with Network Empire and they do so well, but I was thinking more physical products. One-stop solutions for pain, or giving me everything that I need, like both black and white and color cartridges, or let me stock up for like a year's supply and make it a deal. Like these are like half off, 55%, 68%. That's great. Yep. I like it. I like it. They've kept their images down to a minimum. And interestingly enough, even so, they've got the image here. Because of the way it's read, they're going to read all the links first. And then you're going to read the bots are going to read the scroll. And then they're going to read the headline and content. And you've got content above the fold, like actual content, not just the menu. And so all of those things are done absolutely correctly. Yeah, it's a good site. All in all, I would imagine, I wouldn't actually throw this site away. You got a domain authority of 30 and a page authority of 41. I would be inclined to just, I would take a look too to see where those inbound links are going to, see if they're all the home page, which probably is how it's happened. And so long as you don't have some kind of a penalty because they've done something stupid with previous inbound link campaigns, then I would go ahead and hang on to that and build, I would probably do 301s if you're going to change the structure, depending on how many deep links there are. And just got out of a manual penalty. Oh, nice, sweet, somebody else worked on that. Okay, great. Well then, yeah, I would keep it. I would, I mean, that's a lot of hard work that's gone into that. I'd take a good hard look at the links that are left and before you start building more links, just to make sure that it's not just sitting right on a borderline or something. And it should rank pretty easily for you because this is Australia and it's not too steep of a market yet. So yeah, looks good. You got anything else you want to chime in about, Jimmy? Mr. Kelley?
Yeah, I would just say be wary. I'm sure he probably disavowed all the junk links on there, but um, if you're keeping this domain, just be careful with the way you do your anchor text. You know, use more URL-based anchor text as much as you can, because it looks like they're kind of, I mean, you do got some keyword anchors in here, but I'm not sure which ones you disavowed, so I would just think of that as while you go into it with this project, because you don't want to trigger a penalty again.
Exactly. So you've got 30,000 pages of customer reviews. Is that what you're telling me? You've got 30,000 customer reviews? Holy criminies. Do you have a canonical in there? You do. Customer reviews. All right.
Does each testimonial have its own page, or is it just all on that page?
You know, it's all on that page, and then they've got like 5,432 pages, and my guess is going to be that each one of these are canonical back to the front. So for all of, yeah, back to, oh no, that's canonical to page 2. Criminies. You don't usually see that. Did I read that right? You did read that right. Next is page 3, previous is page 1. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, he said he had them do that.
$55 pages. You know what would be really freaking awesome? You've got locations on these. You could, and you don't like have dates or anything that makes me, at least, hang on, let me look at the more recent ones. Yeah, you don't have dates on any of them. You could sort these out by location. Like Queensland, even if you just did it by state, right? I don't know how many, since you've got so many of them. Just a thunk, like if you organized them that way, then you might be able to rank for more locale terms. Yeah. You don't have stars and you don't have dates. Hmm. Oh, you asked whether or not you did the canonical right. Yeah, I think the canonical is fine that way. I see a lot of people who do the canonical and then they refer it all to page 1. And the reason why they refer it all to page 1 is because as you put more reviews in here, then, like let's say you put 1 review in here, then the last review on this page is going to get slid to page 2. And if you have a lot of new reviews coming in on a daily basis, then hypothetically, Google could ding you because they see the same content repeating on more than 1 page. I don't think that's going to be the case with reviews, and I suspect, even so we don't have dates on here, I suspect you don't add that many like in any one particular day. So I don't think you're going to have any problem because reviews end up being mashed up with other reviews, so you get different paragraphs on different pages, and Google sees them as different content, so you don't have that problem. I think it's cool the way you did the canonicals. It's fine. Okay. Well, we're pretty much at the top of the hour. Anybody have any more questions or anything they want to say? Appreciate Kurt bringing us the site and letting us look at it for a few minutes. 4.6 thousand likes. Are those all genuine? That's a lot of likes. Not sure. All right. Won't ask.
Does anybody have any other questions that they want to bring forth? Okay. So the first one is, what are your thoughts on purchasing Facebook likes to get a fan page started? I definitely do it.
I definitely do it. I don't know if Russ is the one that does all the fan page likes, and I don't know if they're starting to crack down on it yet, but I do it.
I mean, we don't, I mean, you know, part of the whole thing for the fan page likes, especially if you're putting your like box up on your website, is just to show that social engagement that's going on with your site, you know, the social proof concept. So, you know, if you don't have enough friends or people that can get to like your page, like that's where I start first, and then I work on other methods after that to try and get the real ones going. I don't continue it as fake ones, but I at least get, you know, a good K or two going to that page to start out with. Do the panda issues for images also apply to embedded YouTube videos on a page? No. A YouTube video is okay to be at the top or under an H1 tag because it's considered content for Google.
Yep.
So you're okay with that. It's just images that you have to be wary of, and you know, just be wary of some of the social plugins that you install that have like the Facebook, Twitter box likes, because they end up having, you know, sometimes the coding on that makes it display as an image right under your H1. So I've seen some plugins that actually cause penalties using them. Do you want to answer that next one, Sue?
Sure. Using VCrack and social explosion on a subdomain on your money site. Is there any danger of over-optimizing and connecting the sub and the money site with a site-wide link? That's fascinating.
A site-wide link.
So what they're saying, yeah, they're doing a banner like under the video or on the top of the VCracken over to the money site, and you're using one link for all of those. I would no follow that link.
Yeah, definitely no follow.
Like on Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's no follow, I think you'd be safe in that aspect. But you gotta be careful with video cracking, because I think, you know, depending on what settings you do, I think can pump out tons of content, and
yeah,
it's easy to get into hot water quickly if you're running that on the same site as what your money site is. So.
Yeah. Is there any benefit? Well, the benefit would be to move the traffic off of that subdomain. So the whole point of using VCracken and Social Explosion is to bring traffic. It doesn't just bring domain authority. It's going to bring traffic. Like, you're kind of hard pressed to not have it bring traffic. So
yeah, we're talking major traffic. You know, like, you know, so on that gold site, there was 40,000 visitors a month going to that PinVid, and
yeah,
and that was just through organic rankings. You know, so when they would go and hit the site, and then they hit the banners, that sends that traffic back over to a money site, and you know, it's a great way to just get tons of traffic going to your website without even actually doing SEO.
Right.
To it. So
if you get all that traffic, you want to send them somewhere. You want to convert it, right? So that would be the reason to have it link over.
Yeah, the link over that I would suggest is maybe wherever your product page is going to be, or what, you know, whatever your call to action is on the site, that's where I would send them.
Yeah, exactly. You want to think about the fact that they're going to be in some kind of video state in mind, and send them to an appropriate page in that regard, something that's going to appeal to somebody who's been watching videos. So, show and tell for a nanosecond here. My latest little play thing that I got to show you guys. Okay, this is our latest calculator for Social Explosion, so that you can figure out finally how many, based on how many posts you've got a month, So let's say that you've got Video Kraken set up so that it's going to run 100 posts a month, and you want it to go to Pinterest on high and high, and you want to tweet high and high, and maybe delicious, just kind of like low and medium, and Diggo low and medium, or however you want to set it, right? You can sit there and you can play with it, and it's going to come back and tell you what the package that you need in order to make that happen. Is that cool? I was impressed. I programmed well with that for a couple days.
Is the RSS feature ready yet, Sue?
Oh yeah, it is. In fact, I have to put that out to everybody tonight. The guys who qualified for beta testing or stuck their hands up for beta testing will get the plugin this afternoon, and by morning the new version will be out, including that, because we've got an important fix that has to go out. So both of those things will get launched by morning.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. So, and Paul was asking, is there any benefit to connect the two? I would say no. I mean, there's not really any benefit to do a link from one subdomain over to your main domain, because it's not really going to channel. I mean, certainly you get a little bit of juice from doing the interlinking within your own site, but it's not going to be as powerful as if you were just beefing up that subdomain separately and not worrying so much about where the juice goes to the money site. But especially if you just sit there and make it no follow, you know, you're still going to get the trust flow will pass through, but you're not going to have to worry about any penalization.
Somebody asked if there's it was Jarrett, asked if there's a Skype group for a social explosion product, and I believe that there is. Ping Themesium,
there is.
Just ping Russell at Themesium, and he'll add you to that group. Paul's been the guy that's been asking the questions about connecting the pin vids. He says, my sites are local lead gen, so perhaps a link to the most important silo page.
Yeah, wherever you want to, yeah, whatever your most important one is, or the one you're trying to rank. If it's not so much about, you know, directing traffic, if you're just doing it for SEO, then I would definitely send it to the, you know, the one you're trying to rank the most.
Yeah.
But make sure it's no follow.
Okay.
Only way to.
So there's going to be 3 different versions of the PinVid theme, and 2 of them will be for sale to the open public. But the one that's all singing and all dancing, it does everything for you. Like it makes you coffee. It rubs your shoulders. It installs all your other plugins. It tells you what keywords you want to rank for. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but it does all the rest of those things. Will be in the one that's available for the course. So yeah, the only way to get that version is to actually subscribe to the PinVid course. So
you can sign up for it now, I think. Right?
Yeah, the course you can sign up for right now. I would imagine that all of those themes will be available by the end of the week. Kevin's just slightly buried. Well, okay, so his wife has been trying to dig him out from underneath that avalanche for a couple of weeks now, but I think she's almost there. Do you have a recommended amount of silos to have for a site that has some pretty tough competition? Wow, so I personally look at the competition on a silo-by-silo level.
I would say if it's pretty competitive that you should, you know, because you get diminishing returns after you go down past 5. So you'd have 5 main silo pages, and then you want to make sure that you're doing 5 supporting posts to each of those pages. So anytime it's really competitive, I just try to maximize that. And then it kind of depends on if you're doing a niche or if you're doing a market of, you know, how many of those silos you actually need. But if you're trying to go after, like, you know, payday loans or something big, then, you know, each of those main silos are going to be pretty competitive terms, and then you're going to want to maximize the content for each of those supporting pages that you create.
And those pages underneath that silo, you can go wider than 5. The wider you go, the more authority that silo is going to have. So you can do 10 or 20 pages underneath that silo. What does the RSS for Social Explosion do? Great question. I'm trying to remember where the heck I installed that. Wait a minute. Oh, I think it's in money.
What does it do? So your social signals that you get. So right now, how it's been functioning is when you install it on the blog and you put a new post up, that post will receive the social signals depending on the settings that Sue just showed you there. What this will allow you to do is actually get these social signals going to an RSS feed. So for instance, you'd be able to, say you want to do a YouTube video, you could do the single RSS feed YouTube, and you could drop it in here and that could get your social links. Or it could be your 2.0 sites if you wanted to, or whatever.
So let me just show you really quickly how this works. You put your RSS feed in here. Now this is an RSS feed for another blog, which normally I wouldn't do, but we're trying to test it, so we needed something we could add stuff to. So anyway, you can throw pretty much any feed you want to in here, YouTube feed, whatever. And then these are the settings for the feed itself. So you've got all 4 platforms, Twitter, Pinterest, Diggo, and Delicious. You can turn each one of them on or off as you please. As you can see, Twitter's the only thing we've enabled for this. And you set your frequency and your duration. And Bob's your uncle. Now, the thing that you want to be aware of is if you're pulling in a YouTube feed, see how many videos are on that feed, because it's going to make, in this case, it's going to make Twitter, it's going to schedule Twitter tweets for every single video on that feed, right? So if you've got 100 videos on that feed, it's going to burn through quite a few credits pretty darn quickly, right? And then every time a new video is added to that feed, it's going to tweet out that new video. So if you've got, so medium is like around 7 days, an average of 7 days, right? So that means that this is going to put out low between 1 and 3. It's going to put out 1 tweet every day for roughly 7 days for each one of the, in this case it's blog posts, so I know it's going to be like 10 blog posts on that feed. So that's going to use up, that's going to burn 7 times 10, that's going to burn 70 credits right there, which is fine. Like if you've got a feed that's got 10, that's not a big deal, but somebody put in a feed with 100, and so then that's going to burn 7 times 100. That's 700 credits. Just boom, like that, and it's going to schedule them out for the next week. Okay, does that make sense? So everybody give me a 1 if that makes sense, because I'm trying to figure out how to explain this in the marketing copy, and was that clear, or is that like mud? 1 if it's clear, 2 if it's mud.
You can also do a single video. You could do that RSS feed for just 1 YouTube video as well, which is pretty cool.
Yes. Derek asks, can we only put in 1 feed? Right this minute, you can only put in 1 feed. We've got to redo the plugin and make it cooler. And that's probably going to start here in the next week to 10 days and probably be finished by around the middle of November. And then you'll be able to put in as many feeds as you want.
Yeah, somebody's asking for specific page only.
Sure.
And that'll, we're working on that as well. We're trying to get the ability to just put in any URL so you can just have social signals going to wherever.
But you can get a feed for, oh, you know, the feed for a single page or a post, that's actually a comment feed. It's not a feed for that page. So, yeah, no, sorry. Oh.
But we are working on that feature next, I think, right?
Yes. I don't know about next, but somewhere in the not too distant future.
Oh, yes, we have that other goodie going on first. I forgot about that.
Yeah. We've got so many cool things that are going to come out in Social Explosion in the next 30 days. You're just going to want to, like, hug the programmers. All right. Any more questions? Okay, excellent. Well, it's been fun, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. Missed Russell and all of his sarcastic comments. But
Yeah, we don't do so good at the speaking part, but that's okay.
just the facts. Yes, we'll be back here same bat time. Well, we're not on the first Tuesday this month, but we'll be back on the first Tuesday next month. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.